It is time for software and testing training, and in this video we are starting the Selenium series. And in this video we will look at Selenium IDE and how the Selenium IDE looks like, what are the different parts of Selenium IDE, how do we record and playback test cases in Selenium IDE, and also how to modify and update your automated test cases in the Selenium IDE. But first of all, an introduction to Selenium. Selenium is a very powerful open source and free tool available for test automation of web applications. Selenium started around 10 years ago back in 2004 and 2005. And slowly it has become a very popular tool. Many companies are using Selenium for automating the testing of their applications. At present, there are two important tools in the Selenium toolset, the Selenium IDE and the Selenium WebDriver. Selenium IDE can be used to record user actions on the website, and it has other functionality also. If you are more interested in Selenium WebDriver, it is because it is using descriptive programming. There are many programming languages available using which you can write your automated test scripts like Java, C#, etc. In this particular video, let us get started with Selenium IDE. So this is what Selenium IDE looks like. So just a brief overview of its main features. First of all, you can see the base URL. The base URL of Selenium IDE is basically the starting point for your automated test case. So it can be the home page of your web application, or it can be any particular URL on which you want your testing to start. Then on the left hand side we have the test case pane. This contains all your automated test cases. The names of those test cases appear here, and within a particular test case the commands are visible over here. Now before we go into Selenium IDE, let us see how we can install it. So first of all, what you need to do is go to the Selenium official website, which is www.seleniumhq.org. Now if you want to install Selenium IDE, first of all you have to remember that Selenium IDE works only in the Mozilla Firefox browser. So make sure you have the latest version of Mozilla Firefox browser available on your machine. Then once you go to seleniumhq.org, go to the download tab, and in the download tab you will see sections for different Selenium tools. So for example, the first section is for Selenium IDE. Then we have Selenium server, and which was called Selenium RC before, and down a little below we have Selenium WebDriver. So let us see how we can install Selenium IDE. So in the Selenium IDE section, so you will see it says download latest released version 2.5.0. so whatever is the latest released version, you can click on that link. So once you click on that link, Firefox gives a message saying that Firefox prevented this site from asking you to install software on your computer. So click on the allow button. Now I'm not going to go ahead with this installation because I already have Selenium IDE installed on my computer, but I have taken a screenshot of that. So first of all, we click on download the latest released version. Then once you click on the allow button on the warning message, it gives you the dialog saying install add-ons. Install add-ons only from authors whom you trust. So you can click on the install now button. Once you click on the install now button, Firefox gives you the message 5 add-ons will be installed after you restart Firefox. So you click on the restart now button, and then Firefox browser will close and reopen, and you will have Selenium IDE installed as an add-on within your Firefox browser. So this is how it looks like. You go to the tools, and then under options you will see the Selenium IDE window. Okay, now let us close that tab, and again I'm going to open Selenium IDE from here. So now we can use Selenium IDE to do a number of things. We can automate user actions on a website. So it is very useful if you want to automate certain web administration actions. It is useful to automate bug reports. You can create an automated test script that shows the bug report and attach that script to your bug report so that the developer can execute the automated test script and see the bug in action. And you can also do a lot of test automation using Selenium IDE. Selenium IDE is used for record and playback. So let us see how that feature works. I'm going to bring these open two windows side by side. Now in the Selenium IDE window, there is a red record button. So if we click on that, so recording is started, and we can navigate to any URL, and let us say that we want to register as a new user. So what I'm doing is clicking on the login/register button here. So as soon as I clicked on this button, you can see that some commands have automatically been populated in the Selenium IDE. Then I'm going to click on create new account, and that takes me to another page, and we can see another command for create new account has appeared. And in username, let me type in the value as user1, and again that is updated in the automated test case in Selenium IDE. And I will give an email address at example.com. Okay. Now let me stop the recording over here. Now this test case is right now not saved. That is why it is showing the default name of Untitled, but we can save this test case. So let me save this test case. So I can go to file menu, save test case as, and I'm going to call it Selenium IDE automated test case 1 and save it. As soon as I save it, the name updates in the test case pane. Now on the right hand side we have the pane for the table. The table contains each and every command within that test case. So there are few commands over here. First is the open command. Open command basically opens any URL. So every command has three different parts. So there is command column, target column, and value column. The command column contains what action needs to be performed. The target column contains information where exactly in the web page that action has to be performed, and the value column contains either the value to be used while executing that command or certain additional information. So let us see a couple of commands so that we can understand them a bit more. So first is the open command. Open means you navigate to a particular URL, and the target contains forward slash. Forward slash basically means you don't go anywhere, but you just stay on the home page, whatever base URL is already given. Now let us see another command. So another command is click and wait. So click and wait is the operation. So basically it is going to click the value, and where it is going to click it, it is going to click it where the link is login/register. So if we go back in the website, so you remember that we clicked on login/register link. So that is where this command is coming from. Now let me execute this command. We can execute any command by just double clicking on it. So I double clicked on it, and it will take us to that link. So then another command is click and wait, and where this command has to be executed is given in the target. Link is create new account. So again, let us execute this. So it will click on that link and take us to the user registration page. And here we have to execute the type command. Command is type, meaning you type something in a text box or a text area. Where this command has to be executed, it has to be executed in the element on the web page whose ID is edit-name. And what value has to be used for typing? It's user1. So right now we can see that username field does not contain anything. So if we just double click on it, so now it contains the value. So that is the difference between command, target and value columns in the table. Now Selenium IDE saves all the automated test cases as HTML, and we can go to directly the file and open it in the browser and see all the HTML. The easier way is to look at the HTML in the source view. So if I click on source, so this is the entire automated test case in HTML, the raw format. And within the HTML there is a table which contains all the commands, and this is the first row of that table. And so the first column is a cell, so the command is open, and the target is / and there is nothing in the value. But it is always easier directly to work in the table view. Now we have recorded this test case, and most of the time we are going to be working in the table view only. So let us try to execute this test case. So let me go to some other website here, and there are two ways to execute the test case. There is this play button. This is to play the entire test suite. So if you have a number of automated test cases and you want to play them in the same sequence as given, one by one, you can click on this button. Or there is a play current test case button. So if you are just interested in playing back the current test case, you can use that. Since we just have a single test case, I am going to click on the play current test case button. So I've clicked on that button. So now the commands are going to be executed one by one, and you can see that when Selenium IDE has to execute a command, it makes that in yellow background, and once the command is executed, then it will be either in green background or pink background. Green background means the command is successfully executed. Pink background means that the command is unsuccessful. So here it has executed the actions in the automated test case. There is a slider for controlling the speed of execution. So it was a bit fast. If we want to make it slow, we can make it slow. So again, go to the blank page or some other URL, and I'm going to click on the play current test case button again. And here you can see as soon as the command is about to execute, it's in yellow background, and once it executes, it becomes green, indicating successful execution. So again, it has executed all the commands, but this time it was a bit slow. Now let me hide this window for the log that we'll see a bit later. Now the question here is, let us say I don't want to give user1 as the value. I want to give some other value. So do I need to record the entire automated test case again? So obviously that will be very tedious and not worthwhile. So if we want to change it, the value over here, we can't in the table view because it is a read-only view. So where we can change it? So once you select any particular command in the automated test case, so down below you will see that the command, target and value, they are separated out, and here we can make any change that we want. So let us say I want to change a value. Instead of user1, I want to give user2, and press enter. So when I press enter, it gets updated. Now here I have changed the value. Let me change the value of the email address also. So instead of user1@example.com, I'm going to use another email, user2@example.com, and let me increase the speed of execution and play this current test case again, and this time hopefully we'll get user2 name and user2 at example.com as the email address, and that is what we get in the application under test. Now in the test case you will notice that an asterisk appears. That is because there are unsaved changes, so we can just go to file and save test case, because we have already given the test case name, and save it like this. Now sometimes what happens is that we want to not execute the entire automated test case but only a part of it, because there we may want to do certain things. So let us say I want it to come to the user account page, but I don't want it to type in any values. So what I can do is I can go to the first command where I want the execution to stop, and there is the functionality of breakpoint in Selenium IDE. So you right click on that command and click on toggle breakpoint. Toggle breakpoint means if the breakpoint exists on that command, it will remove it. If the breakpoint does not exist, it will put a breakpoint. That is the meaning of toggle. So I have put a breakpoint here. It means the execution should stop as soon as the previous commands are executed. So let us go to some other page and play this test case. This time the test case is going to be partially executed, because it will stop execution when it hits the breakpoint. So you can see the execution is complete, but it is stopped over here. It hasn't put in the username and the email address. Now once the execution of the automated test case hits a breakpoint, you have couple of options. One option is you can just resume from that point onwards. So the button you need to click is the pause or resume button. This button has two functions. If the execution is stopped, if the execution is paused, it will just resume the execution, and if the execution is going on, then you can use it to pause the execution. So it has the opposite effect based on the current state of test case execution. So right now our execution is paused, so we can click on this button and the execution will resume. So what it has done is it has executed the remainder of the test case. There is another option that I want to show you. So let me play this current test case, and again it is going to hit the breakpoint. But this time what we can do is instead of just resuming the execution from that point onwards, we can step through each of the remaining commands to see which command does what. So it is very useful for debugging purpose. If your automated test case is not working as expected, you can use breakpoint and then step through the remaining commands, and then find out if every command is correct or any command has a problem. So the button for stepping through one command at one time is this step button. So let me click on the step button once. So when I click on it once, one command is executed, and now it is waiting for us to click the button again. So if I click on the button again, then the last command is also executed. Now the test execution log is visible in the log pane over here, and let me clear the existing log, because what Selenium IDE does is it does not clear the log automatically. So whenever you execute automated test case or an entire automated test suite, it will keep on appending the log. So let me clear it, and I don't want to the breakpoint to stop the execution, so I can right click and say toggle breakpoint, or I can also use the shortcut B for Bravo. So let me just toggle the breakpoint, and I have removed the breakpoint here, and let me go someplace else in the browser and play the entire test case. So as soon as Selenium IDE executes each command, it will put an entry in the log also. So it is executing the automated test case, and here we can see I think I did not click on it. Okay, yeah. So it puts one line for every command. So you can see that first it executed the open command, then it executed click and wait command, then again another click and wait command, then it typed user2, then it typed user2 at example.com. So this is the purpose of the log. So if you want, you can clear it, or if we execute it one more time, then the log will be appended. So let me execute it one more time, and again it will go back to the home page and click on the register button, create new account, and we can see the new log has been appended to the existing log. Now since this test case is already saved, it is showing it, but of course we can open any test case. So any existing test case we can open, and Selenium IDE will open this test case. Now let us say that we also want to put in a full name over here. Now do we need to record everything again? Of course not. So what we can do is we can go to an empty place over here and click on the record button. So I've clicked on the record button, and here in the web application I'm going to put the full name. So user2 full name. So I've entered over here, and I can stop recording. So you can add more commands as you need it. So you can either do it by recording, or you can manually also insert new commands. So let me insert a new command. Let us say I want to put in a first name, or let us say I want to put in the country. So let us say I want to put the country as United States. So what I can do is I can go to the end, and here I can insert a new command. So I right click, insert new command, and here I can put in the command. So the command for selecting from a drop down is select. So I can choose from the drop down list and press enter. So as soon as I put in the command, it shows the reference also, it shows the entire syntax for that command. So here it says what is the locator and what is the label that we want. So here we can see we need to find out some details about this control, this element on the web page. So what we can do is we can right click and click on inspect element, maximize this so we can see it a little better. So it shows some information that ID is edit hyphen country. So let us use that. And so command means what we need to do, what action we need to perform, where we want to do it. We want to execute this command where the ID is edit country. So we can say ID is equal to edit country, and what value we want to give. So we want to give the country value as United States. So we can test whether this command works or not. So let us go to the log and just double click on this command to see whether it works or not, because right now country is not selected. So I just double clicked on it, and yes, it was able to execute it successfully. So not only can you record the commands, you can also insert your own commands. So one other thing we can do in Selenium IDE is documentation. So let us say that we want to divide up our automated test case into sections and give more information, so that later on if we revisit our automated test case, or someone else wants to enhance our automated test case, then they can understand what's going on. So we can right click anywhere and click insert new comment, and here we can put the comment. So let us say enter values in elements is what we want to do, and let us put another comment here, insert new comment, end of test case. The difference between command and comment is that the command is an executable statement and comment is only for readability purpose. So we have made a few changes in our test case, so let us see whether it works fine or not, and save our test case also. It is always a good thing to save your test case after making any changes, so that if something goes wrong, then you don't lose your changes. So save the test case, and I'm going to play the entire test case. So the test case is playing. It has gone to the user account page, and it should be putting in the username, email address, full name and country. So let us verify whether that is the case. Username, email address, full name and country. So it is working successfully. Now here the question is, what happens if we put in an invalid command, or a command that Selenium IDE is not able to execute? Well, in that case there will be an error. So instead of type, let us put in something which is not a Selenium IDE command, for example type fast, and I'm going to now clear the log and replay this test case, and this time it should show an error, and let us see what an error looks like. So here you can see that it said in the log unknown command type fast, and in the runs it said one run has taken place and there was one failure. And immediately on encountering the first error in the automated test case execution, Selenium IDE stops the execution of that test case. So what we need to do is just make sure the command is correct. So make the changes, press enter, save our test case, and replay it just to make sure everything is working fine. Now we can do all these user actions in the automated test case in Selenium IDE, but we can also do certain checks. Okay, so let us say that one check we want to do is that before it starts entering the values, it should be on the page which says user account. So what we can do over here is before entering the values, so let us insert a new command over here, and this is an important check, because unless we are on the page that says user account, it will not make any sense to execute the remaining commands. So if it is not on the correct page, then we might as well stop the execution of that automated test case. So the command for important critical checks is assert. So assert has a number of different commands like assert alert, assert all fields, assert links. You can see the entire list over here. So let me put assert text, and assert text means you can give a locator, and we can give what we want. So we can either look at it, or there is an easier way. We just want to record this one. So let me delete this command just by pressing the del key or right click and delete, and here let me insert a new blank command and just record this assert. So recording is started now, and what I can do is just select that, or just take my mouse pointer on what I want to assert. So right click, and you see since Selenium IDE is already activated, it shows all the commands also. So it is showing the important commands here, and if you want to see more commands, you can just scroll your mouse to show all available commands, and more commands will be available. But what we want to do is put the assert text command. So let me just click over here, and now you can see assert text is appeared. That is all I wanted, and let me stop the recording and remove this blank line. So assert text user account. Now this is an important check. If this fails, Selenium IDE will stop the subsequent execution of this automated test case. So let us see whether it works this time or not. So I'm going to play this test case, and user account is there on that page, and this will pass, so everything is passed. Now let me clear the account, and instead of user account, let us say I put something else like user2 account, which is not there. So this assert should fail. I am forcing a failure here, and play the current test case, and this time it should fail on the assert text command. So as expected, it failed. It said actual value user account is what is available on the web page did not match what we have given in the value column of our command. So this is how the assert text commands work. If it fails, it stops the execution. Sometimes we don't want the execution to stop because it may be a minor check that we need to perform, or we just want to get all the errors. So instead of assert, you can use the verify command for that. So verify text. So verify text just does the check, but it will not stop the execution if the check fails. So let me clear the log and replay the test case. Save my test case. So I'm replaying it, and this time verify text command will fail, but you can see that the subsequent commands were executed. It actually went ahead and put in the username, email address, and full name and country, etc. It did not stop the execution, but in the log we can see that this particular command failed. So obviously we have to make sure that this is correctly executed. So let us put the correct value here, save our test case, and clear the log, and run the test case one more time to see everything is working fine. So it is executing the commands one by one, and yes, it went to the user account registration page. It put in all the values, username, email address, full name, and selected the country also. So this is how you can work with Selenium IDE. So I hope this video gave you enough of getting started information to make you a little bit comfortable with Selenium IDE. If you want to dive deeper into Selenium IDE, there are a lot of Selenium IDE commands and features that we cover in the Selenium training. So you can get more information about that online training from the description of this video. So thank you, and see you in Selenium tutorial 2.